So I'm going to talk to you about mastering motivation. Who has challenges with motivation? Say yes. Yes. Who has no challenges at all with motivation? Cool. So what is it? The dictionary will tell you that motivation is a noun. It will tell you it's the general desire or willingness of someone to do something. Not rocket science, right? So, motivation is easily defined, but sometimes we feel like motivation is really a bit like trying to punch a cloud. We can never quite get hold of it. Does that make sense? Say yes? So on a good day, you'll have a clear, compelling future. You'll get excited. You'll feel fulfilled. You'll make progress. You'll experience growth, and they'll have obvious rewards. Sound familiar? Yep. A bad day. Difficulty focusing. Obstacles. Boredom. Hopefully I haven't got to that point with you just yet. Pain. Stagnation. Frustration. Sound familiar? Yes? What's the key? We will have bad days. I'm a mindset expert. I've been doing mindset stuff for well over 6 years now. I still have bad days. We will have bad days. We need the recipe for a majority of good days. Does that make sense? Yes? Yes. Consistency is key. You just got to do whatever it takes. Who's up for doing whatever it takes? Say yes. Yes. Say yes. Yes. Say yes. Yes. Good. My motivation are these four little beggars here. Reese, Ben, Emma and Holly, my 4 children. That's my motivation. What's yours? And there's more. I've got 2 stepchildren as well, so I've got 6 reasons to get up in the morning. Not only to provide for them, but for the example that I set to them. So what's your why? What's your motivation? We'll think about that now. But let me tell you a story. There was a man. That man is actually similar to a lot of you in this audience right now. Could be a woman, could be a man. He wanted to climb the World Internet Summit. Nice little pun there, isn't it? Because he thought at the top of the summit were untold riches. But he was a smart man. Rather than trying to climb the mountain straight away, he thought I'd better have a strategy in place. Does that make sense? Is this familiar to anyone in this room? Say yes. So he went to see some wise owls. They were called, Brett and Tom. And he spoke to the wise owls, and he said to the wise owls, what's my strategy for getting up the mountain? What's my strategy for climbing World Internet Summit? And the owl said, woo. No, the owl said, you need to see who else is trying to climb the mountain. Which makes sense, right? So first of all, he visited the cowardly chicken. The cowardly chicken couldn't fly because it was too foggy for the chicken. Couldn't see where it was going. But the cowardly chicken could run really fast. But it was always away from something because he was a coward. And he never really seemed to get anywhere. And it's very, very tiring being a cowardly chicken, isn't it? Anyone find this familiar? Give me a brrr. So, the man went to Brett and Tom and he said, I've had a chat with this chicken. Whatever sort of chat you can have with a chicken. We can be motivated by the pain, which is where some of you may be right now. Maybe some of the reason why some of you are here. Or we can be motivated by pleasure, what we're moving towards. It's kind of a push and a pull. Your choice. The reality is that we are all different, and there may be somewhere in between the two that applies to you. I'm willing to bet that most of you are more down this end of the stage, down at pain. That ultimately there's something that's forced you to come to this event, something you're not comfortable with. But equally, I fully accept there are some things that you really, really want as well. So, we're looking at some combination of the two. But most people that I find fall into the pain trap, which is here. What's the problem with that, do we think? Stuck. Yeah, I'm going to show you why I think that's a problem right now. Okay, so we might have a target in mind. Let's say my target is that World Internet Summit table at the back there. If I'm motivated by pain like the chicken, I'm always running away from pain all the time. A bit like a pinball, really, actually. Not really moving towards my target particularly, am I? And you almost notice as well that the more that you motivate yourself by pain, it's almost like a law of diminishing returns, that eventually you'll just, you get so tired of running away from that same pain all the time, eventually you'll just stop moving completely. And you'll end up in exhaustion. Does that sound familiar to everyone? Give me a brrr. It's a law of diminishing returns. When you motivate yourself by pain, you end up getting stuck. Does anyone want to know what the negative thinking cure is? Say yes. Does anyone want to know what the negative thinking cure is? Say yes. It's very expensive. Do you still want it? Okay. It's called an elastic band. Is anyone familiar with this expensive tool? Say yes. So those of you who have seen me speak before might know about this. This is my favorite tool, and it's the simplest tool. You put an elastic band on your wrist. Anytime you start thinking of negative thoughts that are inappropriately negative, give it a ping. Because your brain will then focus pain with that negative thought, and you will stop thinking that thought. It's really as simple as that. Does that make sense? Say yes. Who's up for doing a bit of elastic band therapy over the weekend? It will dramatically change your life, trust me. Very, very simple, very, very effective.